Well, hello there, Pookies. So today's video is going to be about dating horror stories. Dun, dun, dun. So, as usual, all the videos that are going to be played will be shown, will be tagging the people here or here or here or here, over here,
2,000 years later.
over here, or over here, or over here, or over here. They will be tagged. Don't play around with me. They will be tagged. Okay. So, oh, and I also have a special guest today. Hold on. Say hi to Kylo. Kylo, say hi to everyone. Oh gosh. He's a Shipu. He is 6 point something pounds, maybe 7 pounds now from the last time. And he's my little fur baby. Kylo, say hi everybody. He's all fluff, guys. Don't worry. He is not that chunky. He is just fluffy. And when I say fluffy, when shower time comes, he looks like a rat. He's ready to rat. He's ready to rat. Yeah, but anyways. So, you're gonna see him. Yeah, there he goes. You're gonna make a entrance? Oh, no, you're not laying on my pillow. Please get off my pillow. Kylo, get off of my pillow. Anyways, so you might see him walk behind me, even though he's not supposed to be on my pillow. Yeah, there he goes again, his tail. Anyways, so yeah, let's get into it. I don't know where I was going with that, but we're gonna get into the videos. And if you see the camera rocking back and forth, also is that little boy over there walking up and down on my bed.
In college, I'm pretty sure I went on a date with his year. Let's get into it. And before I get into it, I just want to say there's going to be a lot of points in this story where you are literally going to kind of like palm yourself in the forehead and be like, what were you thinking, Tiffany? I know, I was dumb. I was also 21. We met out at a bar and had a really, really great conversation that night. And so exchanged numbers. We went on a first date and it was awesome. He picked me up in this super nice sports car, which this should have been my red flag because he literally didn't know how to open the door. First date went well, and then we were trying to plan our second date. I was in dead week at school, so it was the week before finals and had to be studying a lot, which slowed down our timeline. While I was studying one night, it was probably 10 p.m., we were chatting about how it was going. He was asking me if, he could bring me any food or anything, and I told him that I could just really go for a walk at 10 p.m. So he gets super excited and he's like, yeah, let's go on a walk. And where do we go? The Gasworks. So he says, hey, I need to get gas. I'll be there in like 30 minutes or something like that. So I am getting ready. I tell, obviously, my roommates and my friends to watch my location because that's supposed to save me somehow. And literally an hour and a half goes by. I hear nothing from him. So then he finally texts me that he's there, and I had him pick me up at the apartment next door. In any case, he shows up in a really beat up 4Runner. And I don't care that it was a beat up car. It was just a really big switch from what he was driving on our first date. Immediately upon me getting in the car, he's already explaining away why he has this dirty beat up car. And he's like, oh, I have dogs and I just want them to ride, in this car and not my nice car and like ruin the seats and stuff. And I was like, okay. So we go to Gasworks. He cracks a joke about if this were Dexter, it would be the perfect spot to murder me. He also gets out of the car and goes, don't make fun of me. And I'm like, okay. He's like, well, I was so excited to see you that I'm wearing 2 different shoes. Now my spidey senses are kind of tingling, and as we start to go on this walk, I make it a point to say that my friends have my location. I also kind of lied and said my dad was a cop.
Okay, I pause right there because don't tell them that, because don't tell them that. Don't tell them that people have your location, because number one, they're gonna figure a way to remove that phone out of the vicinity of yourself. They will, if they are a killer, murder. Oh, I can't say that word here. Ooh, I can't say that word on YouTube. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna bleep it out. But anyways, if they are that and that, they're gonna find a way to get your location, your phone's location, away from you. So they're gonna throw the phone out the window of the car, take the phone off for you, find somewhere to turn it off, and so on and so forth. Don't tell somebody that. Okay? Don't tell somebody that. Yeah, just don't.
And he got really weird. He was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then when I told him about the location thing, he's like, well, how accurate is it? And I was like, it's really accurate. And I showed him. He goes, oh, okay. And we're walking around. If you've been to Gasworks Park, there's one side that's like on the water kind of, and then there's this whole like dark side of the moon moment around the back of Gasworks Hill. We're walking around this hill, right? And so we're in the dark spot, and I'm just kind of like, I don't like this. This feels really weird. We get towards the water finally, and he's also at this point made multiple jokes about murdering me, and I'm like, this isn't funny, especially for the second time we're hanging out. Get back to the front of the hill, and there are some of the fire dancers are out there, and so I'm like, oh, like, let's look at the water, and I'm also plotting how I can say I need to go back home. He tries to kind of make a move to walk around the mountain again. I was like, we have already walked that. I'm good. And he goes, oh, you're very aware of your surroundings. Okay? Now, the next part, this might be a moment where you're like, Tiffany, what were you doing? Asks if we can sit on the rocks that are against the water. And if you've been to Gasworks Parks, to get to the rocks, you kind of are away from civilization. Like, you're not really able to be seen if you're sitting on the rocks. I said yes. So we're sitting on these rocks, and I will say I did make sure that I was sitting on the one closest to the railing so that if I needed to run or anything, I could. He makes another joke about killing me. I really, at that point, like, started really feeling easy, right? And I was texting my friends to see if they could come get me. And as I'm looking over at my phone, and I, out of the corner of my eye, see him kind of fiddling with something in his pocket, and it just made my stomach sink. I immediately popped up, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go home. And he goes, so soon? I'm like, yeah, I need to study, trying to placate him. And he's like, well, I just didn't think you wanted to leave this soon. And I was like, yeah, I do. We walk out to the parking lot, and I'm trying to figure out a way to tell him that I'm not going to get in his car. I had left my purse in his car, so I knew I at least had to open the passenger door. And he is very angry, opens up his driver's side door, turns on his car, and is like looking at me expectantly. I open up the passenger side door, and as I reach in to grab my purse, tell me why the gas gauge was empty. The reason that he was late was because he needed to get gas. So tell me why the gas gauge was empty. You know that scene in Get Out where she says sink and it's like, ooh, that's how I felt. So I literally looked around, like I backed up and I started looking around to see if there was anybody there that could potentially help me. And there was this couple that was sitting in a car next to us. So I turned to them and I knocked on their window and I said, I don't feel safe. Can I wait with you until a ride gets here? They obviously said yes. The guy literally peeled out and sped off after I did that. I never saw or heard from him again. I blocked his number, and then I was terrified for weeks that he was going to show up at my apartment and try to murder me.
Wow. So, definitely weird vibes. Murder. Oh, sorry. Can I say that word? You know, vibes. Like, vibes. If you felt comfortable texting on the phone, I would have told my friends. This would have been a good idea. Maybe like to tell your friends, text one of your friends like, hey, I'm gonna pretend to butt dial you, keep you in my pocket just in case of anything. I know you have my location, but I'm still gonna pocket dial you just in case he says anything weird, tries to do anything weird, or, you know, just to have that extra sense of security, and they can hear if he does anything. And it's on the phone. It's potentially recorded, I guess. Phone logged. It's on the phone log or whatever. I don't know how it works, but whatever. Just have that kind of security, right? Yeah. That would be good. And that couple came in clutch actually too for being there. That's very scary. Not gonna lie, that is very scary. Well, I'm glad you made it out, and he sounds definitely like a you know. Anyways, moving on to the next video.
Get ready with me as I tell you about one of the worst dates I've ever been on, where I had to literally run out halfway through. Okay, so about a year ago, I started talking to this guy on Instagram. And looking back, this man had so many red flags. But he was 6'3", so shit was looking a little green to me. And one of his big red flags was that he had a very weird relationship with his mom. And I don't mean like, oh, they were just really close. I mean like Sigmund Freud was in his grave, like, told you bitches. He would somehow find a way to bring his mom up in every conversation that we had. Say I was like, oh yeah, I love The Walking Dead. He would be like, my mom loves The Walking Dead too. He would go on and on about how he wants to find a girlfriend that's exactly like his mom because his mom has the perfect personality and he can't see himself being with anyone who doesn't act like her. He was also 26 and did not live at home, but for some reason still had to ask his mom permission anytime he did anything social. Like before we went on our first date, he was like, yeah, I'm talking this over with my mom. I'll let you know what she says. Their relationship was odd, to say the least. Anyway, so the day of our date rolls around and I text him early in the day and I'm like, hey, just checking in to make sure we're still on for tonight. He responds and he's like, yep, 7 o'clock still works for me. I'm super excited. Can't wait to see you. So like 15 minutes before our date's supposed to start, I text him and I'm like, hey, just letting you know, I just called my Uber. I'll be there in 15. To which he responds, like the only thing his message says is fuck. And I'm like, what? What's the problem? He sends another message and is like, sorry, I got held up at my friend's house. I should be over there shortly. And normally I would have just said, okay, and then not gone on the date. But my hair and makeup were already done and I was in my dumb era. So I was like, oh, okay, no problem. Just let me know when you're leaving. And after 30 minutes of waiting, he finally texts me to let me know he's leaving. So then we both head to the restaurant and he gets there a little bit before me. So he sends me a text and he's like, hey, I'm waiting at the table for you. And when I walk in and see him sitting at the table, I am floored. Took away my 10-minute feature, so don't hate me, but go see part 2.
I love her eye makeup. Beautiful. Beautiful. I know how to find part 2. I know what part 2 if anyone else look at Okay. I'm back. Alright, y'all. I have delivered part 2 and part 3. Part 2.
This is part 2 of my one of the worst dates ever story time. So if you haven't seen part 1, go watch that. Temple needs to f off. Okay, so when I walk into the restaurant and see him, I am floored. Also forgot to give him a name, so let's call him Jacob. I'm so shocked when I see him because he looks nothing like his Instagram pictures, and I mean nothing like them. So he sees me and does the awkward like waving me down, and I come over to the table. I sit down at the table and off the bat, it's just automatically awkward. And like, I'm the kind of person, I can literally like conversate with a brick wall. Like I can talk to whoever and like I'm actually pretty good about that, like talking to people I don't know. And I was just like asking him questions and it was just really awkward because he wasn't like trying to talk. Like anytime I asked him a question, he would like deflect and like not answer it. And so off the bat, the vibes were just really awkward. And And so then somehow the topic of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody gets brought up. And that was like my all-time favorite show growing up. So of course I'm like so into the conversation. I'm like loving talking about it. Side note, he called Mr. Mosby Mr. Moland. Like, first and foremost, you're gonna put some respect on Mr. Mosby's name. He referred to Maddie as the girl at the counter. Like, what? Anyways, and so I made a comment and I was like, I love that show. Like, I can't believe that was like 15 years ago. I said like 15 years ago, not it was for sure 15 years ago. I just did the calculations on my calculator. Here it is. Look at it. I was like, it was like 15 years ago, just casually in conversation. This man cuts me off and goes, it was not 15 years ago, and gets out his phone and Googles how long ago the premiere of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was. And I'm just like, what? I didn't even care. Like, why are you put your phone down? Men will literally take what their friends say at face value, like no questions asked. Their friend could be like, yeah, did you guys figure out that dinosaurs never existed? And they'd be like, oh yeah, cool, like I didn't know that. But anytime a woman says anything, like it doesn't even matter what's it about, they turn into Nancy Drew. Like, put your magnifying glass down. We were literally talking about Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Like, it was never that serious. Please calm down. So I'm just like silently rolling my eyes, like what the and the rest of the conversation is just weird and awkward. Like, it feels like I'm making awkward small talk with someone in the dentist office or something. Like, just the vibes were not it. So then the waiter brings our food out. And he had ordered a burger and he got it medium. Like, I remember I physically heard him say medium to the waiter. And so the waiter brings out our food and Jacob opens his burger and is like, this is not what I wanted. Like, I ordered it well done. Like, what is this? Blah, blah, blah. Just going on and on, berating the waiter about how this is not what he wanted. Go see part 3. And the poor waiter is like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. We'll get this replaced for you. And I chime in to the waiter and I'm like, no worries at all. Like, you're totally fine. Like, you know, we'll get this fixed. Like, it's not a big deal, I promise. Jacob looks me dead in the eyes and goes, actually, it is a big deal. So I'm going to need you to shut up. I said, I'm sorry, what? And then he turns to the waiter and says, you better get this fixed now before I start getting angry. You haven't seen anything yet. And I'm just still sitting there like, oh, is this actually playing out in real life right now? And I feel like I used to do this all the time, even when a date was going poorly. And like, even when I knew I was never going to see this person again, I would still like sit through the date because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be impolite, yada, yada. And now I'm like getting to the point where it's like, if it's like that bad, like if it's something like that, like I will absolutely get up and leave. Like, there's no point in me like sitting there and entertaining it when, you know, I'm never going to see this person again. And after he spoke like that to the waiter, I was like, it's confirmed. I'm never seeing this person again. So like, there's literally nothing to lose. So I asked the waiter for my check for my food and he goes to get it. And we're literally just like sitting at the table. It is so fucking awkward. I like pull out my phone and I'm just like fucking on Instagram. And he's like, meanwhile, like texting up this store. I'm probably talking to his mom, but we're just like both on our phones and it's so awkward. The waiter like brings me out my check. Luckily I had cash, so I just give him the cash for my meal and the tip, and then I'm like, have a nice day. I say nothing to Jacob that is sitting at the table still texting away, and I literally get up and leave. And once I get home, I block him off everything. I block his number, I block his Instagram, and I have not heard from him to this day. So, Jakey, if you're watching this, you need lots of psychological help. I recommend a professional very, very soon. So.
Was it worth it to go to part 2 and 3? Not really. But, this person needs help. Anywho's, we're moving on to the next video.
He wants to hear the story about the guy that I was seeing who was also seeing his sister. I meet this guy on Hinge, okay?
I beg your pardon? What did this woman just say? What did he say? I beg your finest pardon? Is this okay? Don't kill me! Don't kill me! But I'm going to put $100 on this, saying that this is probably happening in Sweet Home Alabama. Sorry to all the Alabamians. Not Albanians, because there's actual Albanians. So I'm trying to think. Albanians. Yeah. Anyways, I'm pressing right. Then you and his sister is crazy.
He's gorgeous. Like, he looks just like Leo from Tell Me Lies, okay? Gorgeous. So he drives 2 hours to take me on our first date, and we had been talking for a couple weeks at this point, and this is right before or right after my divorce. So like, I would never do this now. I would never do this now. But I was like, okay, like, why don't you just like stay the night after our date? Girl, be so real. Do you think that's a good idea? No. I'll call him Tony. That's not his name. I opened my door, I said, Tony, and he looks up and starts skipping stairs to get to me. And he gives me a big hug, and he has flowers. He was like, I'm so excited to like actually see you. And I was like, me too. I was like, I'm finishing getting ready, like come in, whatever. He takes me to dinner. He has a really nice car. He takes me to a very nice restaurant. I'm like, okay, this guy has his life together. He had gotten out of the military. I won't say which branch. And he was getting his master's. So I was like, his life is like put together. I'm obsessed. And the conversation is so good. And he's so interested about my interests, which is like not typical. A lot of people just don't want to talk about neuroplasticity and how cool it is. That's like one of my biggest interests. He was clocked in. He was ready, okay? He was applying for the job to be my boyfriend. And he's telling me about him, and he grew up on a farm in a southern state, and he was homeschooled. But like, not the type of homeschool where you're with other kids, the type of homeschool that it's just you and your siblings, okay? And he has a sister who is like a year younger, 2 years younger. Anyways, so we finished the first day. He stays over. He's already texted me about our next date. He's excited. He's like really into it. So he says, why don't you come by me, which is by like Eastern, like ECU. I think that was the school he was getting his master's at. And he was like, we'll do like some fun mini golf. I'll take you to this hot dog place, because he knows I love hot dogs. I love hot dogs. Leading up to the date, I was feeling like sketched out for whatever reason. For really no reason. He was great. But my like intuition was like, ooh, this is not good. But my heart was like, what are you talking about? Like, shut up. Ugh. Having fun, living life, he's hot. At the same time, there was a documentary about that guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he was in Call Me By Your Name. And there was a documentary about like all the girls that he had like essayed. And like, for whatever reason, I was getting the same vibe. And I was also getting the same vibe of like, maybe he was gonna eat me at some point. And I can't explain why. He never like gave me any reason to believe that he was going to eat me, but I started to really, really hone in on the fact that he was gonna like hurt me somehow. So we go on the date. Date is so fun. But then at dinner, after mini golf, he was like, you know what? You look just like my cousin. And I was like, oh my gosh. Huh. And he was like, I mean, she's hot. I'm like, oh. Okay. He showed me a picture. I look identical. And then he's telling me how hot I am the rest of the night. And I'm thinking, oh, this guy wants to fuck his cousin. This is what this is. He wants to fuck his cousin. So we go back. He gets a hotel because he has a roommate because he's in school. He brings out things that I don't want. Wait, who are you doing that with? Because it ain't me. Like, dangerous things. Like for the bedroom, I was like, this isn't like, no. We started having like pillow talk, okay? We're getting really deep into conversation. And he reveals to me that when he was in like 3rd grade, him and his sister got really curious. I'm gonna throw up. Girl. And I was like, huh? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? And he like really gets into detail of what they did from 3rd grade to a couple of years ago. They were having a full-blown relationship. In just that one way. Okay? I really hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down, okay? Him and his sister had relations for years. And I'm fawning at this point because I'm like, I'm actually in danger. This is not good. I've been drinking. I can't drive home 2 hours. And so
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. I had to stop. I'm sorry. Ooh, child. I'm gonna say one more time. I beg your pardon? Years. She said years. Years. As in multiple. She said years. I'm sorry. We're not even finished yet. We are like, it's not finished. And she said years. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Pressing play.
become a therapist. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that probably really affected you, you know, throughout your whole childhood. Like, do you think that's like brought into your adult like your life? Like, I'm trying to be a therapist, you know, and trying to make him feel comfortable to just like keep talking. But I'm like, I really don't want to hear it, but what am I gonna do? I gotta know where to go. So he tells me everything until we fall asleep. I'm driving home, he's calling me, and he's just like, I had so much fun, like, I love getting to know you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, me too, so much fun. But I was like, you know what, it feels like you don't really have a relationship with God, so like, I need that. And he was like, well, I also need someone that I can like,
all right, we're gonna stop right here because I don't know what she's doing and I don't want to think about what she's doing because I might know what she's doing but I don't know what she's doing. Right? Catch my drift? Yeah, let's move on. Kylo, hey baby, come to mommy, come here. Mommy needs a support. Come, I need some support. Come, say hi to the people. They probably need some support too. Come, say hi. Say hi everybody, my name is Kylo and I'm only 5 months old. Hey, what day is today? Oh, he's 6 months old. Oh my gosh, I missed your birthday. Oh, my little baby. It's okay. Ain't he cute, guys? He's sick of me. Anyways, focus. You can go back. I'm sorry. I disrupted you. But when it's my time to sleep, you can disrupt me all you want, right? It ain't fair. It's not fair, but it's whatever. But that story was terrifying. And when I say terrifying, like, I'm ready to go to sleep now, terrifying. I might have nightmares about this. And that's just ooh, lordy. Like, watching it and not knowing the outcome of what is going to happen in these videos is the hardest part, because if I had known she was going to talk about all of this, you know, it probably still would have made the cut, but it's just a little disturbing to hear it right now. Quite frankly, uncomfortable. Anyways, I'm very uncomfortable actually. I don't know what to do now. I guess I just move on to the next video. But you know, it's just like, it's just like, what do I do now? Like, I just heard all of that and I don't think I wanted to hear all of that, right? You know, I mean, I think this would have been my reaction if I heard it the first time too, off of camera, which would make so much more sense. Y'all tell me if my British accent British right there. But moving on to the next video, I'm gonna talk in a British accent for the rest of the next video. I just messed up. I'm going to talk in a British accent for the rest of the video. I'm going to forget it, right? I'm gonna forget it.
I almost got murdered today, and this is what happened. I matched with this guy on Bumble. We talk, like, exchange a few messages back and forth, and then we switch to WhatsApp. We decide to go on a date, so he planned one for today. When I asked him to send me what bar we're going to, he sent me a postcode, and he was like, meet here. So I googled the postcode, and I put on maps, and it was like flats. There was like a residential street. So I was like, what is this? I don't want to meet here. Like, can we just meet at the bar? No, he was like, no, just meet me here. We can walk together. And I was like, can I just please meet you at the bar? And again, he was just like, just meet me here. Obviously, I was still going to go to the bar. He eventually told me the bar's name. And I am coming, well, I was supposed to be in the office today, so I would have been coming from wherever my office is. And he chose a place that's like an hour away by tube. And it's a Tuesday, so I didn't really want to do that. I was like, that's too far. I don't want to be back late and then end up having to take like a really expensive Uber back to my house. And he was like, it's not far at all. Like, just walk across the bridge and then you can tube. It's one stop, which it wasn't. It would still take me about an hour to get there. So I was like, no, can we just meet somewhere in the middle so that we can both travel? It's not just like, I don't know. It's because he lives in that area that he wanted to do that he chose the bar in. He was adamant on not changing the location. And he was just like, why are you making such a big deal out of it? It's not a big deal. The Uber's not expensive. He like looked up the price. And he was like, it's only £15, which it would not be, because from my house to like the bar by Uber would be like probably £30, especially late at night. But there was a bit of back and forth, and then
I'm gonna pause because if it's that cheap, why don't you pay for her? Why don't you pay for her Uber? If it's not cheap or if it's that affordable, if it's not that hard, why don't you pay for her Uber? I know it's not a British accent, or if it is, it's a horrible one. Why don't you pay for her Uber since you have the audacity? You say, oh, it's not that bad. Or just take the tube. Blah, 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 blah. An hour away from her house? That's crazy. That's a setup for something dangerous. And he knows that. Rude.
And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just reschedule for a different day, because this is obviously like not working, and now we're just like in a bit of a fight, so it's just weird and awkward, and maybe we shouldn't even go on a date. I didn't say that part. But anyways, he was like, well, I can't.
Sorry, I'm gonna pause it in because that should have been a red flag. The whole encounter, that whole text should have been a red flag. For you to meet somewhere sketchy, one. For him not compromising, 2, about the location, and 3, the argument in itself, just the whole argument in itself, red flag. All of it, just a red flag, beep, 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 beep. Red flag everywhere. Sorry for the yawning. I'm recording this at approximately 11 o'clock in the night on a Friday afternoon, and I should be sleeping and relaxing and enjoying my Friday afternoon because I did not work today, and it was a good day. I got my hair diddly done. There was a hailstorm. By the way, I'm in South Florida, and there was a hail ice pebble marble size storm. A tree almost fell on my car, dodged a bullet there. Literally almost, like, it fell the opposite way of where my car is. So if the wind was blowing a different way, my car would have gonna hit. Ooh, and I got this set from my favorite YouTuber. And yeah, I don't know where this rant come from, and I don't remember what I was just talking about. Yeah, moving on. Yeah, that was a red flag. That's all I remember saying last. Moving on.
Now, because I've had to put my credit card down, and they're gonna charge me if I cancel the reservation because it's less than 24 hours. I went onto the website of the bar and I clicked reserve a table. You did not have to put your credit card down. I could easily you just have to fill out your name, and that's it. And something told me to reverse image search his pictures, and I used this website. It's called facecheck.id, and it basically is like reverse image search for social profiles and stuff. I put his picture in there, and it comes up with this like fitness gym model based in Germany. I live in London. So I was like, okay, and had a completely different name. And all the pictures that were on his profile were taken from that person's profile. So at that point, I was like, hey, what the hell? So he wanted to meet me at this random postcode, not the bar. Random postcode, looked like a residential street. I'm assuming it was his place. He was adamant on not changing the location. He specifically wanted to meet there, and he would not meet me halfway. He lied about the credit card, putting it down. And then he's not even real. So I don't know what the intention was. I don't know what would have happened if I went. And it's supposed to be in a few hours. So I obviously have not done anything. I screenshotted the profile, the fitness model's Instagram, and I sent it to him. But now I'm really scared, actually. So I reported him on Bumble. I'm going to block him on WhatsApp before he even responds. Because I don't know what would have happened. But everything is just like alarm bells. And there, I'm pretty sure that would have been the last day that I was seen alive. So, yeah, that is how I almost got killed.
Okay, well, it's a good thing that you found all of this out before you went on a date, number one. Number two, no need to be scared as long as you didn't share your address or location with him, which I'm pretty sure you did not, and it sounds like you did not. And third, I think I heard a mosquito flying in my ears. That's why I looked that way, and I don't like that sound. Duh! I'm getting scared, but I think a mosquito was buzzing in my ears, and I just so yeah, don't follow any of these people. Listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, listen to your mind, listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. That's the only part of the song I really know, I think. But yeah, and I feel like women's intuition is always good most of the time. I don't know about mine, but I know a lot of women, they tell stories and they were like, oh yeah, my intuition said this and that and I was right, yada yada yada. But y'all need to listen to y'all intuition. Make sure y'all vetting the people you're gonna go on a date with, like 2-3 a week in advance, so you got every single little detail, even a minuscule thing. Make sure you have a week before you go on a date with somebody. Look up their identification. Make sure they're not catfishing you. Make sure they're not what else? Y'all stay safe out there. But I love you guys. And I know I missed a few days of recording and what have you because I was doing finals. And yeah, I'm just happy to be back. Right, Kylo? Mommy's making money for you. Yeah. Tell them bye. Say, ready? Ready, Kylo? Ready? Ready? Say, bye. 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 He's like, I'm not having this with you, mother. Put me down. Bye. Hold on. Let's do it. Come on, Kylo. Come on. Come on. Struggle with me. Come on. Ready? She. Bye. Oh. Guys, isn't he cute? He's the cutest dog out there. I don't care what anybody says. He's the cutest little fluffy fur ball out there. He still has his little baby teeth. See? They're growing in the big teeth. Okay, that don't mean he's supposed to bite me. Do I look like him? Do I look like I could be his mom for real? Look, Kyla, come on. Get the camera. Very cute, y'all. Anyways, I'll stop torturing him. But bye. You say bye-bye to the baby? You say bye-bye to the Pookie? You say bye-bye to the Pookie? The Pookie baby. You have a little runny nose, mama. I mean, mister. Why did I say mama? He's a boy, guys. He's a boy. You have a little runny nose, Mr. Papa Poo Poo Bear. Yeah. Bye. No. Bye. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna talk this. I think he's having a nightmare. Kylo, Papa, you okay? You okay? Kylo. 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 Kylo, you okay? Kylo. I think he's having a nightmare, guys. Hold on. You okay, Papa? You okay? He's my little drama king. I think he was having a nightmare. I've been giving him chicken hearts and his breath smell like dookie. What do you have to say about that? No? Okay. He's gone. He was just having a nightmare. Just gonna lay right here in my lap.